of your sales or the starting conversation of most of your sales for your property online. Am I right about that?
Yes.
Tell us why the power of storytelling, of a building of a brand. Because before I got you on the podcast, I was watching your videos. I saw that you were educating in a different way. I saw it. It was very, very clear. Why is it important that founders or CEOs, even if they can't educate like you, employ somebody to really, you even show us back end of what you're doing. I remember when you went to China, to show you that I'm following you, you were unpacking the journey when you went to China to buy materials for one of your projects. Why is storytelling and brand building important in selling even a high ticket item like real estate? And for context, if you can give context, how much is the average price of your property, if you can put it in naira or in dollars, so that people have this perception that, look, I can sell anything online, really?
The last project I just finished, we started selling at 50 million, and we didn't make any sale at 50. We made our first sale at 55 million. So that already proves that I don't see customers does not mean I'll drop my price. I'll sell for what I will sell for. Now our final sale with the last 2 units we sold was at 110 million. And that proves that you can sell anything on the internet. It just requires that the person you are selling to believes that you deliver. I think that's what's important.
How do you make them believe?
And first off, they need to know you. Who are you? Explain who you are. Prove to them that you are this person. And it's easy for me because I'm not trying to present a different person online. This is me. I am a straightforward person. I like to believe that I am intelligent, but I'm also stupid enough to make the mistakes and fail forward, which is something I don't hide. And I don't play with my integrity.
I like that.
Now, I also chose a field that I know what I'm doing. And I take my time to learn more every time. So yes, there are people that are smarter than me, but if you take an average, I'm definitely not going to be average. You understand? So I'm doing my best on the technical parts, and I'm also telling you about it. So definitely, and I always encourage people to do that because I know the industry is big enough. I cannot be the only Superman in the area.
That's right.
As Two-Face,
That's right.
Baba said.
Yeah.
But it is quite easy to push yourself forward if it's something you decide you want to do. Now, on the other hand as well, so many influencers online or content creators are creating content as a job. You understand? They feed off of master classes, sponsorships, things like that.
Yeah.
But there is now the content creator like you and me. We have a business we are running. Do you understand? We have what we are doing for a living. We just happen to make content. So that is the new style. And anytime they ask me that, who do I compare myself to? I always say Elon Musk. Because he's one of the only founders that takes the internet seriously.
That's right.
You understand? So if you position yourself, if you decide you cannot do it, then employ a forward-facing person that will do that for you. Those days, it was getting somebody to put on Forbes 30 under 30, getting somebody on Time Magazine, somebody that is facing for the brand. But now, because if we really look at it, our real estate companies these days are not as big as they used to be those days. Those days, people had to pull money together, get things from the government, sell to maybe like the entire federal civil service.
Yeah.
There have to be big boys in the business. But now, anybody can get into development. It just depends on the size. So if we are looking at the average Joe that wants to get on the internet, that wants to sell their real estate, their project is usually below, or is usually somewhere between 600 million and 6 billion naira. You understand? Project sum. So in that level, you are still too small to be saying that you can't go on the internet. You understand? If you are doing that number every year, then it's a different conversation. But if you can't do that number every year, then you are not really too big. But if you are already hitting those numbers, and I'm not talking revenue now, I'm talking like profit. So if you can do that, then you are making sense. So what are you complaining about? Then the last thing is show, social proof.
Yeah.
When we completed this project, of all our subscribers, only 2 people decided that they were going to show on camera with me. Only 2. Every other person said, my enemies
How
must
many
not.
units was this?
16. Of the 16, I sold 14 from the internet.
How much is one unit?
It started at 55, it ended at 110. But people bought at different prices.
Of the 16, you sold 14 on the internet.
Yes, I did.
Sorry, I want to be as tactical as possible. How many meetings did that lead to before the money was exchanged?
It varied. At the point where I'll say an average of 5. An average of 5.
But the attention,
lowest
you
was,
got the attention first from the internet.
yes.
Powerful.
The some had to come. There was somebody that came the first time, came the second time, came the third time. When he came with his brother. Then he traveled to the UK. Then he sent his lawyer to come. You know, different things. There was somebody that the realtor, he saw the property, he liked it, he messaged me, but he wasn't sure. Then he saw a realtor post it, and he was like, yes, I saw this guy. You are my realtor. Go and meet them and go and look at what's going on there.
I like that.
So he called me and he said, somebody is coming. And I saw the guy. I was like, I know you now. You're a realtor. He said, yes. Your guy sent this thing to me and said he wanted to buy.
Yeah.
So at different levels, it was varying. So somebody committed, and after a while, they were like, I'm not doing again. Return their money back. So it depends, but majority came from the internet.
This is very, 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 very inspiring and very, very, very encouraging to encourage somebody to know that, look, you can sell anything. It depends on your positioning as well on the internet. It depends on your position. What is an industry outside the real estate industry that you look at, or a company outside the industry and you look at? Because you're a student of business and you go like, these people, they get it. They just get it. They know how to sell. They know how to market. Whether it's an African company, a Nigerian company, or an outside company.
Nothing comes to mind immediately, but over the course of this, I'm sure it will come to me. I want to pick a company that I'm sure 100% they are killing it.
Great.
Nothing comes to mind immediately.
So
okay, outside of real estate, it's hard though. But there's this guy that is a top New York seller,
Ryan Serhant. Sell it like Ryan.
Yeah.
Let's say hands, yeah. It's massive.
Yeah,
it's big. It's big. He gets it. He gets it.
Yeah, take it over.
Yes.
But outside of real estate, there is a company. Okay, construction still counts.
Yes.
There is a company in Alberta, Canada. I can't remember their name. Those ones too, they are crazy on construction marketing.
Really?
And from what they do, it's clear that these guys they are too busy. They have too much work to do. So last I checked, I even found out that a friend of mine was actually in their procurement team. He was working as a contractor with them.
Wow.
And I called him. I was like, that they are still on hiring spree like this, so that they are getting new projects and they have to hire more people to work for them to keep track. So it's crazy. Great. Social media is doing a lot for a lot of people, and the people that are sitting down and waiting.
So good.
I'll not lie to you. You keep waiting. It's up to you.
Guys, if you're enjoying this conversation, I hope you're enjoying it. And if you want the transcript of this conversation, because I'm going to do a transcript of it, the link is going to be in the show notes. So you get the transcript of all. This is like a masterclass that this great man is dropping here. Folajami, I believe in identity. I don't know how deep you are in psychology, but today I was having a coaching session with a client of mine that I'm on retainer with, working with their sales team. And I said to them that your target every month, for example, is like $5,000 for a product. They're not in real estate, but another industry. Then I said to them that what is the identity of a person that makes $5,000 every single month? And average 100 calls, because in this company, we make 100 sales calls every single day. This company I'm coaching. Because I believe that anybody who's producing a result that you don't yet have, there's a way they think. They have a different self-identity or self-worth. If we know that identity, perhaps, and mirror it, perhaps we may produce that kind of result. You've done business, and to the glory of God, you're successful at it and you're succeeding at it. What do you think is the identity of a salesperson, a real estate person that wins?
Somebody that walks into a room and nobody wants to keep quiet because they are, bad mouthing them because they are bad people. They are very straightforward. When they walk into a place, people want to, attach themselves to him or her because there is always something to gain. Number one, the person is very useful.
Very
The
useful.
person knows a whole lot. He knows a whole lot about a whole lot.
I like that.
Second, thirdly, the person sees solutions everywhere they look. You never catch them complaining about how bad Nigeria is.
Come on.
They are not suckers. They don't suck. You understand? When you hit them with a problem, they are already calculating that, is this a financial source or are we helping humanity like this? Or they never look at it and be like, because traffic again. Somebody else will be thinking that, what if we can propose to Lagos State government 70-30 sharing formula? We put cameras everywhere, we set this place up, revenue for the government for those that are breaking the law. Things like that. Those are the that's the way those type of people think. They are solution minded, they are entrepreneurial in every way they think. They enter a room and people want to talk to them because there's always something to gain. They know a lot about a whole lot. Now, lastly, when they come across, you never catch them lying. Yes, they might omit because we are in business, but you can never hold them like this and say this guy is a liar. Then lastly, I think the last thing is they are not the type of people that give up. They pivot. Maybe they finally get to somewhere where they are stuck. They pivot, but they don't stop. I'll give you an example.
Please do.
You want to close a sale and you've been on this customer for the past 5 years. I have a customer like that, and they finally closed.
5 years.
After 5 years, they finally closed. Yes. So it happens where I know that there's no benefit. If I want to be angry, I'll be like, before I pick the phone, I might be like, this man again. I need to start explaining. But the man, some way, somehow felt maybe he was testing to see how much bullshit he could actually push through. Things like that. But finally, it was like, okay, this guy is actually who he says he is. And this guy is actually interested in getting me something that will benefit me. You understand? And I feel like that is where a lot of people lack. They want to sell. That's all. But they don't know whether there is a product client fit. If your client is happy with what they want to buy, you don't need to make them, they will bring customers for you.
Exactly.
But even before you close them, they need to be sure. Yes, there are a lot of gullible people. You understand? Sometimes they'll take you at how handsome you are, how you speak, how you come across, maybe remind them of their daddy or something. You understand? There are other things that actually might influence closing.